Hi guys, my name is Tax. Today we're gonna take a look on the philosophy of Hearthstone back in the days. Back in 2015, Eric Dodds gave his vision about creating Hearthstone at the GDC, the Game Developers Convention. The link to the original video will be in the description down below. Let's get started. We all know Ben Brode, one of the creators of Hearthstone, and he did that with Eric Dodds. They were the OG Hearthstone designers. The Batman and the Robin, the Bird and the Ernie, the USA and Freedom, the Heart and the Stone. This power couple created Hearthstone from the ground. Ben Brode left Team 5 and has now his own company called Second Dinner with other ex-Team 5 employees. And Eric Dodd also left Team 5. He joined the StarCraft first-person shooter, which was cancelled. Later he left Blizzard and I have actually no idea where he is right now. He might join other ex-Blizzard employees, but I am not sure. If you have any idea where he is, post it down below. Back to the main topic. Eric Dodds talked at GDC back in 2015. In this video I'm gonna talk about a few points. The original video is almost an hour. The point of in this video is to see if the philosophy from back then still stands. I hope to make this a two-part video because it's way too much to talk in 20 minutes, 50 minutes on it. What changed? What still stands? Let's figure it out. This video is, by the way, heavily cut. Eric explains a lot and not everything is relevant to what we want to see today. The last thing before we start, if you want to make this a drinking game, take a shot each time you heard collectible card game. And if you really want to do the hardcore mode, do that with the original video. Have fun to watch and let his wisdom enlighten you.
We spent a lot of that time doing paper design, and it works, of course, very well for our game because our game is based and comes from, the physical collectible card game genre. That's its basis. But I actually think that there's a lot of games that could end up doing more paper design time than they otherwise do. And certainly I can say, as far as game development goes, one reason that it was super useful for us to do this is because, strictly from an expense point of view, having two designers working on stuff doing paper design is a cheaper thing to do than having a full team rolling. I can talk a little bit about this specific design. So when we were working on the game, we were trying to solve a whole bunch of different design problems. And this specific card or idea was trying to solve the problem of the heroes feeling really powerful. Because when we were working on Hearthstone, one of the ideas we had is we wanted heroes to not just be a punching bag, vengeance, but to be this powerful character that actually interacts with the environment and isn't just something that gets beat up. And the issue we had with that, or sort of the reason we went in this direction, is we decided, hey, maybe we can make a really powerful hero who doesn't show up until later in the game. So there's a fortress that you have to smash your way through before the hero leaps out. And then once the hero leaps out, he can actually be powerful. And we actually had a whole system where you spent points buying super cool weapons and armor and stuff for him. But there ended up being a number of problems with this model, not the least of which being that you generally didn't destroy the enemy's fortress. You just built up a huge army, waited till you had overwhelming force, and then crushed their fortress and hero at the same time.
So there were the original ideas. As you see, we have Illidan Storm Rage with the Demon Hunter class added this year. So some classes became literally a punching bag class. But happily, with the nerfs and the new patches and the addition of new cards, we have new combo decks, OTKs, and that keeps the games refreshing and with enough depth, in my opinion. Eric also talked about heroes that became stronger at some point. They cutted their resources, but they always kept the idea of powerful heroes. If we take a look of Knights of the Frozen Throne, they brought us the Death Knights, a powerful hero that with a powerful battle cry and other win conditions. We also got the Galakron decks and hero cards like Zul'jin. They still had some resources, but they are very differently than back in their thoughts. Like with Frostless Gina, you need to survive until turn 9. With Galakron, you need to invoke your hero to have more value. And with Zul'jin, you need to play more spells that don't backlash. So you really have a powerful hero at the end. I think they were a great additions, and I hope to see some new ideas brought back.
So another very important thing for us in Hearthstone was sharing the vision with our team. But what we did is we had a set of 6 stakes in the ground, and these were the basic ideas that we used to communicate both to ourselves and to new people who were joining the team, and pretty much all of the people who were involved and around the game, what the game was all about. And so that at a high level made sure that everybody who was making the game was making the same game and had these same high level ideas. And the reason why that ended up being so important, or I think it's important really in all games, is that certainly on the Hearthstone team, everybody on the team is a designer, and I think this is really just true across all of game development, that all of your engineers and artists and pretty much everybody involved in the game is making design decisions, large and small. And I certainly recommend is making sure that everybody on your team has what I think of as designer brain. And when looking at somebody to be on our team, I'm much more excited about an engineer who is a good engineer, who has designer brain and sort of can think like a designer, is engaged in the game, rather than an amazing engineer who's not really into the game you're making. They're not really interested in playing it. They're not really, don't have strong designer brain. So.
Now call me a boomer, but I think this might be one of the biggest issues with current Hearthstone. They might have too many designers in the team. They are great, and they may add the best cards in the game, but Hearthstone is more than only a collectible card game at this moment. It became an esport and a market leader. They are the Tom Brady of card games, of the Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi for my fellow Europeans. In other words, there are a lot of eyes on Hearthstone right now. They have huge community issues. They have a huge community filled with esporters, content creators, free-to-play player base, and a premium player base. They need to put more effort in some things, like I don't know, maybe communication. They started very well in the year of the Phoenix with their roadmap. It looked very promising, and the employees do still a great job on Twitter reacting to the community. That there are real issues with the communication. We might also ever take an in-depth look in Hearthstone esports and communication in the future. Let's hope they fix the communication issue, and let's focus on the main topic, Eric Dodds talks at GDC.
Our thought about Hearthstone as a whole was we wanted to make a game that took what's cool about collectible card games and made them accessible to a lot more people, that everybody could sort of understand and start playing immediately. And one of the things that meant was we started questioning the basics of what it meant to make a collectible card game, or for something to be a collectible card game. So for instance, there's a lot of collectible card games that have a lot of specific different turns, and you have to understand this phase and this phase and this phase and what can be done in each of those phases. And we decided, okay, we're going to rip all of that out. The only phase, there's only one phase, the time you get to do stuff, your turn. And during that turn, you actually can just do whatever the heck you want to do in any order.
Let's talk about secrets. In Hearthstone, players have a lot of freedom during their turn. Secrets take that freedom away from players. They feel to be limited during your turn feels awful. That might be the reason why many people hate secret decks. Playing around is so annoying, and Hearthstone is a very fun-based game. The devs really want to protect the fun into the game. And I believe that besides made secrets, the most secrets are okay. If secrets ever got power creeped, I think then we're gonna enter a dark age in Hearthstone.
Summoning sickness is something that is also traditionally in collectible card games, and it's a mechanic where a creature, when it first comes into play, cannot attack that turn. And we didn't like this very much either because it had the complexity of a creature could either not be able to attack because it already attacked, or a creature could not be able to attack because it had just come into play. And so, and I don't, again, remember if this was when we were doing the Flash prototype or doing it with physical cards, but we decided, hey, let's try to remove this and see what happens. And we removed it, and it was really, really bad. And really what happened was we were trying to simplify something, and we lost so much depth that we...
So charge removes depth of the game. Right now we have rush in the game. With animated broomstick, our minions can gain rush. It's a powerful combo, but combos should be powerful. In my opinion, the card is in a great spot right now, and I think Team 5 agrees with me.
And so this is one of the things that I have discovered after many years of working on WoW and Hearthstone, which is you never stop adding stuff to your game. And so when we're talking about the game, we're going, okay, this is sort of the right level of simplicity that we want. And then over time, we start adding additional things to the game here and there for various reasons. And often it's like, oh, a little thing here and a little thing there. And very quickly, you look at your beautiful, simple UI or interface or whatever it is and realize that it's not quite so simple or beautiful anymore. And that's not even to talk about what we're looking at on Hearthstone now, is to be adding additional features going forward and having this struggle between a very simple, accessible UI with all of the cool features we want to put in.
This feels like one of the most core values of Hearthstone. Keep it simple, because you will add so many things in the future you don't even know. Everything you add right now will become more and more in the future, and you will make it more complex. So things like auto mute your opponent are those things. They are very careful, adding a lot of things to the menu, and I think I agree with that. It's a very simplistic UI. It's not perfect. It's quite buggy sometimes, but I still believe that what they did and what they are doing, it's very intuitive for a lot of people, and also for people who never played a collectible card game digital. Well, that was the first part. Thanks for watching. Like the video if you liked it, please, and see you next time. Bye.